This week on Reliving the Extreme, we are discussing the episode of ECW from January the 9th, 1995. Nate Maxon, your host, here with you, along with my brother Aaron.
Hello, everybody.
And Mr. Chad Austin, all the way from Maryland.
All the way.
Well,
All
if you're in
that
Maryland,
way.
if you're in Maryland listening to this, he's not from all the way in Maryland. He's from there in Maryland.
But it's still all the way. I live in all the way in Maryland.
Well, at least you don't live in bumfucked Ohio. How's that?
No. Are your sisters ass Wyoming?
Well, the episode.
No, dude, I live all the way in Maryland.
The episode of ECW. Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, I was gonna say this episode should be entitled "Pretend That Last Show Didn't Happen."
Yes, well, yes, because we are watching all they're all matches we have not seen on TV yet, but they're all matches that actually took place before the event that we reviewed last week.
Yeah, right. I mean, what can you say? It's a recap of a show that was recapped 4 weeks ago.
All the matches on this show are from the New York show in Queens that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And then, of course, we reviewed House Party last week, and this stuff happened the week before House Party. But there is still some interesting stuff on the show. I don't know that it's going to take us too long to review it. But regardless, there is some interesting stuff on this week's show.
Still going to be the longest hour you guys ever had, man. Come on, enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. It'll be the most entertaining hour of your week, we promise.
I mean, fucking Archie's over there fucking bitching because we can't go 2 hours.
It's like, why can't you guys get to Cornette's length? Fuck. Pack a lunch.
Well, I mean, none of us have that amount of time just to go on the microphone and spiel that. Like, I love Cornette. Who has enough time to listen to all that nonsense?
Also,
like,
I don't have time in my life to review. I don't even know if it's I don't have time in my life. I don't have the patience to review to watch all the modern wrestling that he watches and reviews. There's no way.
I don't have the mentality of watching something I hate.
Not even
I don't like. Like, I'm just not. If I don't like it, I'm just not gonna watch it.
I know why Cornette does it. Cornette does it because it makes him money.
Yeah, watch it as spite.
But I don't know why all the neckbeards on the internet do it. Like, why these guys that hate either AEW or WWE, either way, how do you even know what's going on if you hate it? Why are you spending your time watching shit that you don't like?
Yeah, you know what? I really don't have an answer for that, dude. I wish there was an answer for that. But it's like,
it's because they don't have jobs and they probably have curfews.
Well, hang on. I was talking. I'll give you your minute, Aaron. But for me, I never missed an episode of Monday Night Raw since '93. Even then, when I went down to senior week or went on vacation, I would always find some way to see Monday Night Raw. So I probably missed about 5 in the last 30 years. And the one that sticks in my mind is the one where Crush Slam Yokozuna was one of the biggest ones that I've missed. Go ahead, Aaron. Now you can talk.
Well, I just think that, like I said, the neckbeards, they're in their fucking basement or their goddamn trailer and they don't have anything else to do. So they just have to fucking bitch about shit they don't like. And it's like, just fucking go out and try to like talk to a person and fucking live your life. Don't just fucking sit in a goddamn basement and fucking bitch about shit you don't like. It's like, just
enjoy wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch what you like.
Just enjoy it.
Watch what you like. Avoid what you don't. And fuck. Like Chad said, fucking enjoy it. God, why? I don't get it, man.
Like nobody who watches wrestling on a regular basis is gonna not look at it. You know, nobody. There's no doubt in my mind that nobody who watches regular programming on a regular basis is going to be like, oh, well, TNA sucked tonight. You're still watching it. You know? Like, I can't even get TNA. I mean, I'd love to watch TNA. I just can't get it. And I'm lucky if I can watch Raw, which I can't even watch Raw. Right now, I don't even have cable. I got some bullshit hook up that somebody hooked up at my house that gets me like 14 channels. You know what I mean? Like I don't have USA is not one of them. So I came downstairs and was standing out on the porch with my hand over, you know what I mean, with aluminum foil attached to my finger. Like I'm trying to find fucking USA.
Well, if you
and
have,
then so you had to download the app. You're fucking kidding me, dude. Really? I have to download the app just to watch USA. And then when I downloaded it, fucking Raw wasn't even on it. How do you watch this fucking show? How do you watch it?
Well, I watch
I watch it on Hulu.
I watch it on Hulu the day after and fast forward through it. And usually I watch Dynamite. I watch Dynamite on a pirated website. I don't even watch that live.
Dude, I ain't seen AEW in fucking 3-4 weeks. Like at least now. I haven't seen it. Because I can't find it. It's the same thing like you said, Nate. I'll pirate it. Pirate it from who?
Do you have a computer?
I don't fucking know anybody.
Do you have a computer, or are you watching on your phone?
I do everything on my phone.
Oh shit! Yeah, the website that I use won't work right on a telephone. On a cell phone.
Fucking old are you? Jesus Christ.
Won't work on a rotary dial.
You sound like a Tony Atlas on a cell phone.
Cell phone. Well, all right. Back to ECW from 30 years ago. January 9th, 1995. The show opens with a 5-minute video showing us pretty much the entire history of Raven and Tommy Dreamer so far. We've already reviewed all that, so we'll move on. We get to Fonzie.
Well,
go ahead, Aaron.
the one thing I did watching this, the one thing I did forget about was the unnecessary chair shot that fucking Stevie gave Tommy when Raven was breaking his, like, quote unquote, breaking his fingers, like working it or whatever. Like, Raven has him down and he's breaking Tommy's fingers, and Stevie just cracks him right in the fucking side with the chair. Like, it might sound dumb, but I was like, oh my goodness. If it was real, it was like, that was completely unnecessary.
No, chair shots are meant to be chair shots. Fuck everybody that don't. Now that's the whole entire, CTE thing, whatever. Don't get in the fucking business. Don't get in the fucking business if you can't take a chair shot to the head.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying just like in the story of it, like Raven already had him down, and Stevie just, like, his character was like, I'll just crack him with the chair. It's like, it was unnecessary. Like, it was just a dick move. Like, even Raven, like the character Raven probably been like, dude, that wasn't cool. Should have done that. But anyway, go ahead.
It's still a recap.
Yes, we have a recap on the show of recapping. The first match that we see, we see Fonzie in the ring with a promo. And the match is going to be Taz versus this gentleman, Nakagawa, apparently from FMW. Anybody know his story, Chad? Do you know anything about this dude?
Nope. All I know
neither.
is that Paul introduced everybody to the newest people that, like, it's fucking Victor Quinones, his doing. And it was always doing, and he's like, yeah, I want, you know, that's where you got Sumo Nugawa and like 4 other guys that ECW used like for that shit, and then when I was watching that, I was like, dude, they just brought him in with Taz, you can just kill him.
I put like literally right here on my notes. It says, "Imagine flying all the way to the States for this."
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're gonna send you to America, and you're gonna have an excursion, and you're gonna learn a lot of stuff. And then he gets there, and this fucking traffic cone's like, brother, you ain't doing shit today.
Well, that's the way that it was. I mean, do any of you guys know Victor Quinones?
I know who he is. I mean, I don't know him personally, but like I know who.
Well, yeah,
he
would be he was usually the liaison, where he would send guys over to the States to get work. I'm not 100% sure that he was the guy that sent these guys there. You know, the Japanese guys. I mean, in the weeks going forward, we're going to see more of these guys that are there. You know, because they're taped shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sumo Nugawa. You know, we're going to see all these guys. But yeah, I mean, there was a liaison between ECW and IWA, and that was Victor Quinones.
He was
Who
Gorilla
likes little boys?
He was Gorilla Monsoon's son, right?
I don't know. He likes little boys. So I can tell you. Put that on the fucking website.
That's that is the story. It was that he was Gorilla Monsoon's illegitimate Puerto Rican son or whatever.
Maybe we'll find out the truth when Brian Solomon's book comes out.
yeah. Keep listening to fucking Jim Cornette then. Why are you putting him over? I'll figure this shit out because I know Victor. He's a fucking creep. So he's a creep, and I knew it from day one.
He's dead, isn't he?
What's that?
I think he's dead.
Him and Rover Hawk?
Yeah, they're both dead.
All right, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Then I can say whatever I want.
he ain't gonna sue us.
Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, I mean, like me and my buddy, the Burr Watcher, like, the last time we hung out with them guys, and we both realized that he was a creep. Like, there's something going on. You know what I mean? Not that we had our finger on it, but we knew something was going on.
You didn't have your finger on it, but he had his finger in it.
That's funny.
And yes, Victor Quinones croaked in 2006. So,
good Lord, he lasted that long.
He died at 46 and he looked 66. So that tells you
he always
the
looked 66. Fuck Victor. Fuck him, dude. Goodbye, buddy. You and the Road Warriors. And the Rock and Rebel.
I do think it's funny at the beginning of this match, they cut to it and Fonzie's yelling, and he's like, I've been to New York. Everybody knows who I am. I don't need an introduction. And then fucking Joel's like, the manager, Bill Alfonso. Hey, his whole thing was, you don't need to introduce me. They knew who I am, Daddy. I don't need an introduction. It's like, the manager,
and then he introduces him anyway.
Dude, Aaron, you'll love this. The fact that he said, Daddy, you know who I am, Daddy. Like, he's totally just shitting the bed, like shitting it off, like, yeah, fuck you. And you know who I am, Daddy. And
Daddy.
I was laying in bed and I just chuckled when he said that. Like, you know, because when you go out and riff on the microphone, it's not the easiest thing to do. And Fonzie was so great at it, but he was like, "You don't know who I am, Daddy." And that just made me. I sat up out of bed and laughed, and whoever the fuck the girl was I'm staying with, just, you know, she was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "No, Fonzie just said, you know who I am, Daddy."
Daddy. But yeah, this Taz and Nakagawa match is pretty much just a squash match for Taz. He beats this guy up. And like I said, poor guy flew all the way from Japan just to do this. But hopefully at least got paid.
Well, he probably did. He probably did. But it honestly did make Taz look really good. Like taking all those drop kicks and clotheslines and shit and him just not budging. It did its job for what it was.
Would you sell for that guy? I would sell for that guy.
No, Taz knew exactly Taz knew exactly what he was doing. And
of course, I would have not have sold for that guy, like at the very beginning.
Taz was like, he's a Naka gonna come back.
Yeah.
So
he looks like a melting candle. I'm not selling for him.
He's a Naka gonna come back.
He's like Pete Dunne with slanty eyes. That's all he was. Slanty eyed Pete Dunne. And he's standing out there, and Taz is coming out. I'm waiting to hear fucking War Machine, and then I get the WWE's version of War Machine. And it's like, dude, I don't give a fuck what version of music he played. That guy's getting fucked up. You know, it doesn't matter. And it played like 2.5 minutes. You know, because Taz went out there and he fucked that guy up when his little gym suit.
The WWE network versions of songs are like the versions of songs you hear in like a Chinese restaurant where they didn't want to have to pay for the rights to the real song.
Like elevator music?
Yeah, worse than that. Like
the thing is though, like I've watched Barely Legal on the network, and because Taz didn't always use War Machine, he eventually used the Survive If I Let You version of it, and that's on the fucking Barely Legal fucking pay-per-view, but they still don't use it on this thing. It's like, it's so fucking weird how I'm sure there's legal shit that we don't understand, but it's just fucking weird what they use and what they don't use. Like
it's funny to me because if you listen to Taz's theme song when he says "Survive Without You," it sounds really like the Kiss song, you know, that he came out to. Because I know
it's just a different version of War Machine, but it's like they use it on Barely Legal, but they don't fucking overlay it on this thing. They just overlay their shitty garage band version of War Machine. Like, or
that's because David Geffen, he fucking edited it out. He edited out the words. So all he had was the fucking, like the instrumental. Like when Taz came out. That's why I was like, dude, it's still War Machine. It just doesn't have the words to it. You know, because that little fucking midget motherfucker ain't walking to the ring before you hear the words. And then he walks to the ring and all he did was just drop the words out.
I know
that was David Geffen.
I know it has nothing to do with ECW, but then it is weird with the network. Like, wasn't "Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy" an actual like Jim Johnston WWF song?
I think it was a Jimmy Hart song, honestly.
Well, okay. So they overdub that on the network when Hillbilly Jim comes out, but they don't overdub the Rougeau's music, and Jimmy Hart wrote that.
Well, that's how it works, man. Jimmy Hart wrote everybody's music.
It's just weird the decisions they make when they're.
I mean, isn't it pathetic how people can just own the copyrights to shit? Like, just throw shit out there, and somebody go, "Yeah, I copyrighted that."
And that's probably, Nate. That might be what it is. It might be that Jimmy Hart wrote "Don't Go Messing with a Country Boy," and maybe at some point it didn't get signed over to them, but American Boys did, and Vince fucking talked him out of it. It was like, you know what I mean? It's just weird. It's kind of like, this might be out of left field, but like Piper talked about it in his book. The reason they always wanted to call Roddy Hot Rod was because Vince didn't own Roddy Piper, but he owned the rights to the Hot Rod name. So that's why he called it Hot Rod. You know, like Piper hated Hot Rod because he didn't fucking own it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It's just shit like that.
But Taz does win this match with a Taz mission, and then after that,
I love that Taz mission, dude. I'm not even 100% sure it works, but
as long as it looks like it works.
It looks like it does. I'll take that all day long. I'm gonna end up trying to put fucking what's her face in the Taz mission tonight.
Then we get a promo from the Gangstas with New Jack just talking about how they're back. What
were they in a root cellar?
I put down a corridor. It looks like it's like a stairwell, like a corridor. I'm sure they're in the arena somewhere.
No, it's the studio. That's where the studio is. It's about fucking, I don't know. It's almost about 70 miles, like west of Philadelphia. I did it a ton of times. Yeah, and it's nothing. And then it's near. Once you see the sign saying Plymouth, then you know you're getting close. And then you gotta take an exit to get off of there. Yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. Like I've had the bicycle tapes for Paul before, and I wasn't even sure why I was doing it because I'm like, these aren't even our affiliates. You know what I mean? Like we're not even on this channel. Why are we? Are you telling me to take a tape to in Baltimore, like WNUV? We don't show it. They don't show. You know, like no. You understand what I mean?
Was he hoping that they would need a little bit of programming one night, so they might throw his tape in? I don't know.
Dude, I mean, there was probably 1 out of 10 that probably did. Just threw it up there, you know? Probably 1 out of 10. That probably just threw it up there and said, what the fuck do we give a fuck? You can get this or you can get a fucking Floby.
I was going to say it'd be during one of those hours in the TV guide where you look and it just said paid programming. After that, we see footage of the Eliminators versus the Pitbulls. And, of course, that match looked like it was good. Those two teams always had good matches against each other, though.
No, they weren't good. They were sloppy good. That's what I wrote down.
I guess I should say entertaining for me to watch anyway. I liked watching them wrestle each other.
Yeah, I mean, so do I. But they were always still sloppy. But that's what a fight's supposed to be, you know. You know, I mean, it never really bothered me that it was that sloppy. I mean, like, dude, these guys are just fucking falling all over each other. You know what I mean? And but there's a chain there. There's a bunch of accoutrements, and they're still falling all over each other and shit. And I thought it was a great match.
I'm not trying to be one of those guys. I'm not, because we were just complaining about them earlier. People, you can watch what you want to watch and like what you want to like. But I agree with you, Chad. A fight should look like a fight. That's why a lot of times as they call it, flippy shit, the shit that looks so choreographed doesn't work for me. And again, if somebody likes that, that's cool. If that's what you like, that's what you like. That's fine. But me,
sorry, I know.
I was just saying, for me, I'd rather a fight look like a fight, like Chad just said.
We've asked Chad about Anthony a lot, and he's talked about him. Was Perry Saturn as badass as I think he was?
Oof. That's a tough one.
If you don't know, it's fine, but to me, he seems like he was just a badass son of a bitch.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't pick a fight with him. Yeah, he's. I'm not even gonna say he's in the top 5, top 12, top 10, whatever it is. Nah. I probably wouldn't fuck with him. I'd probably have much better success fucking with Saturn. Because Perry was like, like that painting in Goodfellas. You got one dog going the other way, and the other guy's going, "What the fuck you want from me?" Yeah, Saturn was always aloof. Is he still alive?
Saturn? Yeah, Saturn's still alive.
All right, well, fuck him, man.
Like, I'm not saying he was probably as badass as Anthony, but it's just, to me, Perry Saturn just seemed like he was a badass fucking human being. It's like, I don't know anything.
Fuck yeah, he was.
Like, how many people can you hear about got fucking shot in the head and fucking still fought?
Dude, in the wrestling business, I got tired of hearing about everybody's backstories. About what they used to do. And how'd you end up here? I don't have this story. I like pro wrestling, and I trained to be a pro wrestler. And like I was actually good friends with Anthony. He just got caught up in the wrong crowd, man. Because I told you guys on the show a million times probably that I used to be one of his mules.
Hmm.
And dude, I can't do this anymore. This ain't my business. Hey, I need you to take this over to here. Dude, I can't. I'm in Philadelphia. I live in Baltimore. I don't know where this is.
I don't know my way around.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want from me?
All right. After the Eliminators and Pitbull's footage, we get Lance Wright with Hype Central, and then we go into a match between it's El Puerto Ricano against the man that was once Mantaur in the WWF, Bruiser Mastino. Bruiser Mantaur.
I wrote down Bruiser Mantaur. No, his name is Bruiser Mantaur. That's what I'm calling him. It's the Puerto Rican versus Bruiser Mantaur.
Poor Puerto Ricano. Can you imagine if I would have been there?
Did you guys notice when Bruiser Mantaur ripped off his pants, everybody in the crowd laughed?
No, I didn't. What is breakaway?
Everybody.
Like Joel Gertner was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Bruiser Mantaur," and then he was like wearing long pants, and then he tried to rip them off like DiBiase pants, and when he ripped them, like I think he was like standing on the heel of it or whatever, and they didn't rip off properly. But then when he did rip them off, his big ass was out, and everybody was just like, and I'm like, oh man, Bruiser Mantaur's dead. Like he is not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it through the match with the Puerto Rican, which is actually the name. Like his El Puerto Ricano or whatever. It's just the Puerto Rican translated. So it's the Puerto Rican.
Don't hate on El Puerto Ricano.
I'm not. I'm just saying his name is the Puerto Rican versus Bruiser. They presented the Puerto Rican versus Bruiser Mantaur at the ECW arena. And this dude had on the back of his tights BM. It's like, you are BM. You are a bowel movement.
I know, right? What's he, a bathroom attendant?
Don't put BM on the back of your tights, you fat fucking piece of shit. You are a BM.
Don't put BM on the back of your trunks. Yeah, you're right, man.
Bit of trivia: Bruiser Mastino was related to PN News. Did you know that?
Oh, go figure.
I thought he was PN News. I actually really did. It's not PN News. I thought it was PN News. I said I love the stuff he did with Autobots.
Trivia
Really?
fact: their uncles are the McGuire twins.
Yeah.
Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo.
I really thought he was Bruiser. He was the same guy. No shit. All right. Well, you just,
I think at some point down the line, a couple of years from now or something, we're actually going to see PN News in ECW. Doesn't he show up in ECW at one point?
It probably the WWE version of ECW.
I think he shows up in the real. He shows up in the real ECW.
What? What do you mean, real ECW?
PN News. He shows up in the actual ECW, and I think he tries to play himself off as the son of Bruiser Mantaur.
Nah, dude. Unless you're Don Callis, you're not going to get over as a heel.
El Hijo de Mantaur. All right, so
The son of Mantaur.
this match again. It's Bruiser Mantaur, who you could show a movie on his back. Jesus. Against El Puerto Ricano. And the crowd is all over this fucking guy the whole time. We got Mantaur sucks chants. We got the crowd mooing. We got the crowd laughing at him. It was a big mistake for this guy to walk into the EC. It wasn't even the ECW arena. It was a New York arena, but
they chanted "all you can eat" at him.
I didn't even catch that.
I wouldn't even know how you could even chant that. All you can eat. Somebody had to yell all you like, first.
All you can eat. All you can eat. That's how they chanted it.
Yeah, that's incredulous.
I think if he wouldn't have been Mantaur, he might have stood a chance.
If he wouldn't have
he has a look. You know
if he would have wrestled, it would have also helped had he wrestled in a suit or something like that instead of those trunks.
Yeah,
the minute he ripped those pants off, it was done.
Well, that's what sucked, dude. He ripped the pants off. I mean, like, why are you doing this?
It's like you're built like a traffic cone. What are you fucking doing?
You're like 380 pounds, and you're ripping off your traffic pants.
You look like a gigantic aspirin in there.
No wonder he was so late for the shows because they had to fucking do the traffic monitor. The traffic person.
They introduced him at like 375 pounds, and then he ripped his pants off, and Joey was like, "Oh no, he's 450." No doubt.
Slob. What a fucking slob.
All right.
I'm sure
I think actually,
God damn.
I think actually we've talked about the match for longer than it was.
No, it was too long.
You're right. It was too long.
Bruiser
if you're trying to make this guy a monster and put him over like a monster, maybe you don't have Puerto Ricano go so long with him. That's one of the problems. That's actually one of the problems I find in some of this early ECW stuff. Some of the times when they're trying to sometimes when they're trying to build somebody up as a monster or a threat, they give their opponent too long in the ring, too much offense. Like I said,
well, it goes back to the old adage that if I just beat you up and didn't get any offense, then who did I beat up? Like, it don't make you any more credible. I just go out there like Don Morocco. He punched the guy and left Mario Mancini lay on the fucking floor for like 5 minutes. But if I didn't beat anybody, I can't make myself to be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it makes sense to something like that, but this is fucking Bruiser Mantaur and the Puerto Rican. It's like, just fucking end it. Nobody cares about these guys.
Well, I don't book Puerto Rico.
This this match was a means to an end because what this match really did was it got us on one of our crazy ECW segments where everybody fucking comes to the ring. 911.
I loved all this.
911 comes out to.
No, you're missing the good spots where everybody just rolled out. Anybody back in the locker room, just throw them out there. And all of a sudden you hit 911's music. And it was what? There was probably 2 people, because I wasn't there. There was probably 2 people that were like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they knew they were getting it. But there was like 14 people in the fucking ring.
And it kind of powders out. It kind of powders out to be 911 staring down Taz.
Well, Bruiser
Hey, brother.
Bruiser Mantaur got chokeslammed like 3 times.
That's what he was there for.
It cracked me up too when him and Taz were like staring down each other. Bruiser Mantaur hit 911 like 3 times in the back, and 911 didn't even fucking sell it. He just like looked at him like, "What the fuck are you doing? We're back."
Fuck 911. Is he alive?
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh, is he?
Yeah, he is.
I thought he was dead. I actually thought I thought he was dead.
Yeah,
I keep up on this shit. You guys always think people are dead, so I Google them.
Oh, they all die.
And then I keep up. But 911's still alive. He has like 6 kids.
So?
I'm just saying.
And
he's
keeps him alive?
He's got something to live for, I guess.
Yeah, fuck him.
Roddy Piper had a bunch of kids and he's dead.
Yeah, fuck Roddy Piper.
No, but I'm just saying.
Anyway, but
911's still alive. I'm not writing fiction. He's alive.
Well,
He's living hobo.
Fonzie and Todd Gordon have another little brawl out here, and of course Taz, and then the crowd, the guys in the arena.
How great was Todd in the brawl? I loved it because Todd had no idea what he was doing.
Not a clue.
No, but that's what you want, right?
Yeah, I mean Todd Gordon shouldn't look like he knows how to work. He's not a worker.
Dude, I loved it. I thought it was so fucking great when I saw him as soon as he threw a punch on Fonzie, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
And I did like, I did like in all the chaos, you know, with all the other wrestlers out there and stuff. One thing I noted was as Fonzie's kind of getting his ass whooped by Todd Gordon, he grabs a hold of Taz and then they fucking book it. I like that out of Fonzie's character too. Like, I'm getting my ass kicked in all the chaos. Let's get out of here. Nobody will notice that we've chicken shitted out of here.
No, I didn't notice that, but it's a great observation, huh?
And then to end
Todd's
this,
Todd's book is so good.
Hold on, just really quick, just to end the segment. JT eats a choke slam. JT Smith eats a choke slam to end the segment. Go ahead, Aaron.
Talking about Todd's book, like I said, it's really good. And he was talking about there was a whole chapter on Terry Funk, and I was going to bring this up because I don't know if Chad ever heard about it, but Todd said Terry Funk was talking to some younger guy in the locker room, and the guy was like talking about his neck, and Terry Funk was like, "Oh, you know, you can't ignore neck injuries. Those are really bad. Don't ignore it. Make sure you get it taken care of." And the guy was like, he was like, "Terry, I can't afford to like get that. I can't afford to go to the doctor and get surgery and all that." and Terry told him to do the rental car gimmick.
Which is?
And apparently, what the guy, I don't know what the rental car gimmick is. And Terry was like, well, you get a rental car and you pay the premium, like full collision and all that. And then you just rent the car and you get in it and you just drive right into a pole or a tree and just wreck the shit out of it.
You drive right to a pool or a tree.
You just run right into a pole or a tree, and then you go, oh, my neck.
No,
And they go for it.
you go and get Sherry Martel. You travel with her. And somehow your car will be fucked up. And she'll go, I don't know how it happened. She's dead too, right? Yeah, Sherry's dead.
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, I'm running out of fucking wrestlers that are not even dead.
Yeah, that was the Terry Funk healthcare plan. It was like, just wreck a car, get full coverage, wreck the car, and then be like, oh, I got fucked up in the accident, and they pay for it.
Dude,
He
I had a friend request from Harley Race. And I said, I'm not doing this because, what, 5 months from now, you're dead. 9 months from now, you're dead. I can't do that. Fuck you.
The next segment on this ECW show, we have Stevie Richards, the Blue Meanie, and the Dudleys out in the ring. Meanie dances, and then Bubba comes out, and Bubba dances, and then Bubba slaps Meanie. But Meanie and Bubba have a little dance-off to entertain the crowd. And I still think it's great that no matter where they're at, the crowd's like, Bubba, Bubba, Bubba. I love the Bubba chant.
Go, Bubba,
Dude.
go, Bubba, go.
So do I, dude. I mean, me and Bully, me and Mark we're friends. Well, actually, we're pretty good friends. Yeah, and we always talk about that. He's like, yeah, the stuttering thing wasn't my thing. Yeah, I know, but it was what it was. You know what I mean? It was what it was.
And it was over, and that's what matters.
That's what we ultimately, I guess you can say that's what it ultimately meant. It was over.
Mm-hmm.
It endeared him to the crowd, and if he would have, I don't want to say it, like, if he would have just went in right away and just been that asshole heel Bubba Dudley, he probably would have got a year or two out of it. But him endearing himself to that crowd and building that with him, it helped his career, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, where would he be if he wouldn't have been a fucking Dudley? His gimmicks prior, not happening. He worked for Solody. Seriously, give me a break. No, that's what he did. Oh my god, my fucking ribs hurt.
The main event match of this show is Raven and Tommy Dreamer. Once again, Raven and Tommy Dreamer. Before the match starts, Stevie Richards and Blue Meanie come to the ring. Richards informs the crowd that Raven broke his leg last night, which of course Joey calls bullshit on. So he says Tommy's going to face the Blue Meanie. Tommy beats Blue Meanie in like 6 seconds with a jumping power bomb. Then for shits and giggles, he beats Stevie Richards. And then Meanie comes out and Raven comes out, I'm sorry, and they start their match. And I put, this is a Raven and Dreamer with a bunch of, as we called them last week, shenanigans.
It's a walking brawl. It's a Memphis walking brawl. That's all it is.
Well, good thing you think a whole lot about it, Aaron. Good thing, yeah. It's a walking brawl. That's all it was. It's still a walking brawl, but at the end of the day, what happened?
Tommy lost.
Yes, he did. Raven always beating Tommy Dreamer. But no, this match, I mean, it was fine. It also wasn't, excuse me. It was meant to be more of a match to bridge and keep the storyline going as opposed to a match to end everything. So, and of course, again, since this match was recorded before what we watched last week, during this match, we still don't have the reveal of Beulah now being with Tommy either. During this match, she's still with Raven.
That's what I'm saying. Like I thought this match would have been cool, but like watching it, I'm just like, you guys are pretending like what we just didn't watch didn't fucking happen. It's stupid.
In their defense, I think House Party happened like 2 days before the show aired. So they're probably thinking, I don't know what they were thinking. Like maybe the majority of people don't know what happened at House Party yet because we haven't told them.
Well, all of the people in the fucking crowd watching it watched the House Party because they were all at the fucking House Party. And that's who's watching your fucking show on TV.
But don't get mad at me about it.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying it's stupid.
Aaron's all fucking fired up, man. Jesus Christ.
Like at the beginning of the show, Styles should have said what you guys are going to see was filmed before House Party. But he didn't do that. They didn't have him say that. They tried to present this like it was fucking now. And it was. Go ahead.
Come on, Aaron.
But yeah, the Raven. The Raven. That's what Rod Trodgard would have called him. The Raven here in the ECW arena. Anyway, Raven hits a DDT on the chair to pin Tommy Dreamer and to continue their feud. And then we wrap up this episode of ECW with a Pulp Fiction with not a lot in it. I mean, there's Taz talking about 911. The second part of the Gangstas promo. JT Smith is practicing his Italian, trying to act like Frank Sinatra. We get an out of nowhere appearance from Damian Kane.
And then we get Blue Meanie and Stevie cutting their promo, and then Shane Douglas shows up, and to end the show, Joey's like, "Was that Shane Douglas? What's he doing here?" It's like,
that's
well,
why
he was here yesterday, fucking idiot.
That's why you didn't see JT Smith. Shane said, I should say, there's fucking sneakers on sale. The milk's like $2.99 at Walmart.
Well, that being said, overall, I didn't actually really give this episode a grade because it's in the long run, because it's past tense, it really doesn't matter. So I didn't even really grade it. It was just there.
I still gave it a B+. Come on, man.
Aaron, what about you?
I give it a D.
Good job, man.
For dumb. It's like, don't. It just took me out of it with them trying to like not talk about shit that happened before the fucking show happened. Like the whole Raven, they were trying to present the Raven Tommy match as being like a thing that's just as happening now. And then Shane shows up and Joey's like surprised that Shane's there. It's like, well, he was just fucking there. It was bad placing in my opinion.
Wow. What
Continuity.
Do your little speech, Nate.
We will see where next week takes us. in ECW as we continue reliving the extreme. I want to thank everybody for joining us this week.
But where can you follow me at?
You can follow Chad.
You don't even know where you're at. We follow you.
Yeah, and that's pretty funny. No, I don't. But on the internet, they know where I'm at.
Yes, you can find Chad on the Facebook. And I believe you're still on Twitter, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you can also find us at patreon.com/reliving the extreme. And you can check out the WNR podcast network on YouTube now. I have like the 5 most recent episodes of this show up on YouTube. If you would like to listen to them on YouTube, you can do that as well. So again, like I said, patreon.com/reliving the extreme. Find the WNR podcast network on Facebook or on the YouTube. And for Chad, for Aaron, we want to thank you for listening, and we'll see everybody next week as we continue reliving the extreme. Have a great week, everybody.